Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just got to the employee parking lot. I'm starting a 2-day today. I was able to hold this off of my bids yesterday, so we love that. I'm trying to time out for the month, which that just means when we're on call, we are guaranteed 75 hours worth of flying, whether we fly it or not. In Charlotte, you usually fly it, so the best option is to try to time out, which means if you fly 8501 hours, then you can call and be released for the rest of the month, because they can't fly you over 90 hours without you telling them to. So once you hit 8501, we don't have any trips that are less than 5 hours worth of time, so that's why you can call out and be like, I don't want to be called anymore. So as of right now, I'm at 47 hours for the month, so I'm already over halfway there. And I'm only done 8 days. Well, after this trip, it'll be 8 days on reserve. So, and I'm hoping to get the last 3 days of the month off. Right now, I would get the last 2 if I just worked like exactly minimum like hours for the next couple. So if I can get a couple more high time trips, then I should be able to time out for those last 3 days, which will be perfect because my parents are going to Israel next week and they're going to be gone for 10 days. So if I can get those last 3 days off, I won't have to worry about Ozzy, because right now my sister's going to be home for most of that time, but she is going on vacation that last little bit of their trip. So if I could be home for that part, then I won't have to board Ozzy, which will be perfect. But I have about 15 minutes till sign in, so let me I just did a little bit of makeup because I chose to sleep in a little extra instead of doing my makeup at the house because I had to leave at 4:30 this morning. But let me put this back in my bag and then go catch the shuttle and start this 2-day. Day 1 was 2 legs. We went Charlotte to Newark and then Newark to Phoenix. I don't typically fly to Newark because it's not really my favorite airport to fly through. I always have issues. I don't know why. But flight time to Phoenix was 4:52, which is the longest flight I've had in a while. We had leftover ice cream after the service, so of course I had to eat some. Then I had to do my Celsius because I was starting to fade on that flight. It was a long day. Then read some of my book and we got to Phoenix on time, which we love. Here's my hotel room. Look at my cute little dog lamp. We love it. And then here was my view of the city of Phoenix. It is 1:25. I have 18 and a half hours in Phoenix, so I have a ton of time to kill. But first things first, I'm going to go to the pool and get some sun. It feels so good outside. I was freezing on the airplane, so I just want to go bake in the sun because I have not been able to warm up. So we're gonna do that first, and then I'll probably lay for like an hour or 2. We'll see how it feels. And then I'll probably go to the gym, and then I'll probably venture out and get food somewhere, and then call it a night. But let's go outside. I forgot to grab my keys on the way out to the pool, and the system to print new keys was down, so I had to wait 30 minutes until finally I was able to convince them to just let security take me up to my room and get my original keys so I could go lay out at the pool. You guys, the sun was out and it was so hot. Did you guys see my hair? I didn't even do anything. That was how crazy it was. Anyways, changed clothes and then ate a snack, did my devotion, went down to the gym. This picture in the elevator kills me. I don't know why, but just is so funny to me. Did my elliptical, came back up, took a shower, went out to get food, looking like a crazy person, wet hair, super wrinkled clothes. We love it. Anyways, went to Hanny's, which has very interesting decorations in their restaurant, but the food is really good, so we love that. Anyways, then went back to the room, locked myself in, and called it a night. Good morning. It is day 2. I'm about to go head downstairs. There's a Starbucks in this hotel, so I'm going to go get some coffee because I did not pack my own. By the time I got assigned this trip, it was too late for me to brew my own coffee, so we're gonna go grab some of that really quick and get day 2 started. Here's a uniform check for you guys. Same old, skirt, shirt, blazer, nude tights, heels, you know the drill. Anyways, had to buy canned coffee from the airport because the Starbucks line in the hotel was absolutely insane and the other coffee lines at the airport were insane. Then had my little overnight oats breakfast. I nibbled on some leftover frittata, one of the first class meals. I didn't think it was that bad. People either love it or hate it. I didn't think it was that bad. Then had some tea with honey. We had a little bit of weather in Charlotte and thought we were gonna have to divert for a minute, but we did these little loop-de-loops and were eventually able to land, so we love that. Here is your daily dose of Charlotte chaos. It was just a steady stream of people walking on top of each other all day long. We love it. We were a little bit delayed going to Jacksonville. We were supposed to do a Jacksonville turn after we went to Charlotte, which day 2 was a doozy. Had my pasta, and look how beautiful the sunset was out of the little window. So listen to this, my flight back from Jacksonville to Charlotte. I am writing down my names to do my pre-departures, and I see this name and I'm like, I feel like I recognize this name. So I go up to like start asking the preferences, and I'm like, recognize his face. So I'm like, how do I know this guy? Like, I know this guy from somewhere. So I'm like, does he live in my hometown? Like, do we go to church, like the same church? I'm like thinking of all these things, like, do I know like one of his children, you know, all these types of things. And then I look up and saw that he was a D2R, which just means you're either like a retired flight attendant pilot or you are a registered companion. But once I saw the D2R, I was like, oh my gosh, he's a retired pilot. And then it clicked. I flew with that guy on his very last flight before he retired, even though it ended up not being his very last flight because it was in the middle of COVID, and it was during the time when like flights were canceling like crazy and we were getting reassigned, and it was when like 7 people would be flying on the plane. Like, it was insane. But yeah, we worked a flight to Kansas City, and we all went out to celebrate and got barbecue. Like, the whole crew went out because he was like, it's my last flight, it's my last layover, I want to like celebrate it with everybody. So we all went out, and then he called it. He was like, they're probably gonna reassign me to work. So he was supposed to deadhead the next day just back to Charlotte, and then that was gonna be like his last little flight. And they called him and were like, you need to work the flight instead of deadheading. So he ended up having to work another flight after ours, but we still got to celebrate him. But yeah, he was just on my flight. Like, what a small world. And so we talked about that. He like still had the picture that we took of that day. So me, him, and his wife were like just talking about it, just talking about what the industry's been like the last couple of years. But yeah, and he was like, this is only the second time I've traveled since I retired on his benefits. And he's like, every time I non-rev, I'm hoping I see like someone I recognize or someone I know. So he's like, I'm so glad that I got to like see you and we got to catch up. So that was so cool. But anyways, I thought I would be more tired today because it was a really long day, but I'm actually not that bad. When you have a really good crew and when you can like just kind of have fun at work, it doesn't really feel like work, which is exactly how today went. Both of our sets of pilots were awesome. Just like joked around with them all day. The crew was great, so we love that. But I am off for the next 3 days, and then I will be going back on call for a stretch of 5 days. So I'll probably be trying to bid for some higher time trips those next 5 days, just so I can get my hours up, so I can hopefully time out, like I said earlier, for those last 3 days of the month. But it is 10 o'clock. I have an hour and a half drive home. So as always, any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.